Yeah, it's me again, Golden Blue Dude here with you again, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I make videos about college football every single day, so go ahead and get that over with, and let's talk about week 2 of the college football season. Week 1, we saw 3 massive blowouts, including last night. I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't see that coming. I did not know that Navy was going to be that bad this year, or is BYU that good? I don't know. But if you go back and you look at the scores starting on Saturday, there was only one game that came down to 7 points, and that was the Texas State SMU, and that was supposed to be a blowout. SMU was a 25-point favorite. So let's look forward on to week 2 and see if we can have some more competitive games. So I'm just going to go down the list real quick. First, we have UAB Miami, and I'm going to go briefly through the storylines as well. So UAB Miami, I think Miami will win this game pretty handily. This is Derek King's debut as a Hurricane fan. By the way, before I go any further, the NCAA needs to go ahead and redo their top 25 because this looks silly, keeping the Pac-12 and the Big Ten in the top 25. Let's go ahead and get caught up here. So the next game is Syracuse at number 18, North Carolina. A lot of people think this could be a close game. I personally don't. Would it surprise me if it was a close game? Not terribly, but I think Sam Howell is the real deal, and North Carolina's defense is for real as well. Last year they were number 2 in the ACC at taking the ball away. So I think North Carolina will take the ball away from Syracuse several times. We'll see how that goes. So the next game is Charlotte at Appalachian State. The only reason I mention this is because of Appalachian State's Zach Thomas. He is a very competent quarterback. I think Appalachian State has the potential to have a magical season and at least be in the playoff conversation at the end of the year. Next is Louisiana Tech and Baylor. And everybody's eyes are going to be on first-year head coach Dave Aranda and see how he does there at Baylor. I think Baylor could slide all the way down to 8th place, but a lot of people are high on Baylor. They have them finishing number 4 in the Big 12. I not so much. I looked at their LSU's defense last year. Didn't impress me. They came on strong at the end of the year, but during the year, not so much. So I think Baylor will finish in the 6 to 8 range. We'll see. Then UL Monroe and Army. If you go back and look at the Middle Tennessee game, Army's run game was on point. If they can keep doing that throughout the rest of the year, Army's going to be a very, very good team. Duke at number 10, Notre Dame. Ian Book, can he take a step forward and make Notre Dame a playoff contender? I think it's possible, but they have some tough games in there. Starting out with Duke. Duke's not a gimme. They're not a great team, but they're not a gimme. So they're going to have to show up and actually play to beat Duke. Campbell, Georgia Southern. Don't really care about that. Arkansas and Kansas State. We're going to see if head coach Chris Kleinman can make quarterback Skylar Thompson as good as we think he can be. I don't know. And they have a tough schedule in the Big 12. I think Kansas State is going to finish 5 or 6. I think they'll stay right at where they were last year. Maybe a 6-4 campaign, possibly a 5-5. We'll see. I think they'll get to a bowl, but as far as taking a step forward, I'm not ready to call that yet. And then next we have Austin Peay and Pitt. Not even going to talk about it. Don't like Pitt. Not going to talk about Pitt unless they actually do something good. Next up we have Missouri State and Oklahoma. Number 5 Oklahoma. This is the debut of Spencer Rattler. He is highly talented. People are making a lot of noise about this guy. And you throw in the fact that his head coach is Lincoln Riley. And the last 3 quarterbacks under Lincoln Riley have either won the Heisman or been a finalist. So it wouldn't be a stretch to put Spencer Rattler in the Heisman Trophy finalist possibility at the end of the year. So this is the first true freshman, though, that Lincoln Riley has coached here at Oklahoma. So we'll see how it goes. I think he'll be just fine, especially in this first game. I think it'll be a blowout, but something worth watching. Then Citadel, South Florida, both of these teams not good. So it could be a tough one to watch. Then we have Trevor Lawrence and number 1 Clemson going to Wake Forest. And by the way, Wake Forest will not have Jamie Newman. And neither will Georgia because he quit. So Clemson at Wake Forest. We'll see what Clemson will do this year. I think they'll be back to the playoffs. And I think they'll keep the pattern going of winning a national championship every other year. This is that other year. So yes, I think Clemson will win the national championship. Tulane and South Alabama. The only reason I'm mentioning this name is because South Alabama upset Southern Miss. I'll get it out. Which, by the way, Southern Miss's head coach quit after that first game. I guess he saw that they were so bad that he's like, I'm done. I'm out. And so give yourself a round of applause, South Alabama. You made it happen. So could South Alabama have a magical season? We'll see. Next up, Tulane, and it is at home. I think South Alabama will win that game, but we'll see. Next up, Western Kentucky at Louisville. Scott Satterfield is doing great things at Louisville. I think this could be the start of a huge step forward for Louisville. I think they could finish 3rd, maybe 2nd, depending on how Notre Dame and North Carolina, and even Miami do in the ACC. But they will be in the upper echelon of the ACC this year. Then we have Houston Baptist at Texas Tech, and the return of Alan Bowman ever since West Virginia flat out knocked him out of a game. Look, it was a legal hit, but man, that was brutal. He had a collapsed lung and broken ribs and everything. So I'm going to give him a round of applause for finally coming back 100% healthy, ready to go for Texas Tech. We'll see how he does. And then Eastern Kentucky at West Virginia. We saw Eastern Kentucky against Marshall, and either they were just terrible or Marshall was really good. Either way, I expect West Virginia to have no problems with Eastern Kentucky. And a lot of West Virginia fans are saying, well, we better beat them by 60 points or more, or that means that Marshall fans are going to say that they're better than West Virginia. Look, one thing has nothing to do with another, because the goal at Marshall is going to be completely different than the goal at West Virginia. So as long as we beat them the way we're supposed to beat them, I don't care about the point spread. And then we have Georgia Tech at Florida State. This is year 2 for Georgia Tech, transitioning out of the triple option. And this is year 1 for Florida State under head coach Mike Norvell. And if he doesn't solve that offensive line situation soon, it's going to be a nasty, nasty year. Not saying they can't beat Georgia Tech. I think they can beat Georgia Tech. I think this is going to be a competitive game. But two teams transitioning out of the old into the new, and we'll see how it goes. Florida State's previous head coach just, oh man, it was bad. It was tough to watch. So I don't think it could be any worse than that. So there's your bright side. I think Florida State will get the win in this game, but I think it'll be a competitive game. I really do. I'm mentioning this game. UTSA, University of Texas at San Antonio, against Texas State. I think this will be a good game. They both played well, and Texas State almost pulled off a huge upset against SMU. They were a 25-point underdog. People don't realize that. So I think this will be a great game. I will be watching, and just see how it goes. You know, I know they're not, upper echelon of FBS, but I think it'll be a good game. Next up, a revenge game for Kansas. That's right, Kansas gets a chance to revenge last year's loss to Coastal Carolina. We all remember that score, 12-7. Kansas, come on. You can score more than one touchdown against lowly Coastal Carolina. I have faith in you. I have Kansas over Coastal Carolina. But would it shock me if Coastal Carolina won? No, it would not. All we have to do is look at last year. And Louisiana against number 23, Iowa State. And the reason I saved this for last is, number one, Iowa State is my dark horse sleeper for the Big 12 championship game. But Louisiana is not a team to sleep on, Iowa State. Don't sleep on them. You might pull a Kansas last year against Coastal Carolina. Come and play your A game, and you should be perfectly fine. But if Louisiana catches you snoozing, it could be upset city for Iowa State, because Louisiana was 11-3 last year, and they're returning a lot of talent, so you better take them serious, or they will put you on upset alert if you come to the game snoozing. I don't think that'll happen because everybody's looking forward to this first game. It's been a long time. Everybody's pumped. All I'm saying is Iowa State, play your A game and do what you're supposed to do and beat Louisiana. Otherwise, if you come in with your C+ game, they could most definitely upset you. So come to play and you'll get the win. So there's my overall view of week number 2. I think it'll be a much more competitive week. There's still going to be some blowouts because, you know, we have some very low FBS or even FCS teams playing some nationally ranked teams. So we'll see how it goes. I think it'll be better than week 1, and more of everybody's teams will be playing. There's still no Big Ten or Pac-12, of course, and the SEC is next week. That's when things will really start going. But we still have the ACC and the Big 12 in this week. So there you go. Week 2, going to be much better than week 1. Still going to have some blowouts, but I still think it'll be better. That's all I got for you for this video. Like and subscribe to Gold and Blue Dude if you haven't already. And I'll see you on my next video.